Good morning, dear family. There are moments in life when everything feels unsettled, when battles grow heavier, when familiar voices grow distant, when unexpected kindness appears out of nowhere. These are not accidents. They are gentle signs that God is near, shaping your path toward something greater. You may not see the full picture yet. You may only feel the tension, the silence, or the surprising hand that reaches out in your need. But all of it is part of a divine pattern, a preparation for a turning point you could never create on your own. The Word tells us in Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 19, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland." This promise reminds us, what feels unsettled is often the soil of transformation. God is not delaying. He is arranging. He is preparing the way, even when it seems hidden. If these words stir something within you, feel free to share your heart in the comments, and you are warmly invited to walk with us on this journey of prayer. Take a deep breath, quiet your thoughts, and join me in this moment of prayer. There are times when the weight of life feels heavier than before. Prayers rise from your lips, yet answers seem delayed. The opposition around you grows louder, and your heart wonders if you can endure much longer. But pause and consider this. When a battle intensifies, it is not always a sign of defeat. Often, it is evidence that breakthrough is near. The enemy presses hardest when he knows God is moving. Shadows grow darker just before the dawn breaks. You may feel surrounded by storms, but heaven has not abandoned you. The Spirit is strengthening you in the very place where you feel weakest. Each cry of faith, each whispered prayer in the silence is building a strength within you that no opposition can erase. Paul writes in Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." This means your present struggle is not simply about circumstances or people. It is spiritual. And if the battle is spiritual, so will be the victory. So take courage, lift your eyes, even if tears remain. Strength is being forged in you. Hope is being anchored in you. And heaven is declaring over you, this battle will not be the end of your story. What if the very pressure you feel today is the proof that God is preparing your greatest turning point? There are seasons when the room grows quiet, when familiar voices fade, and you are left wondering why those you trusted are no longer near. It feels like abandonment. It feels like rejection. Yet in the stillness, something sacred is taking place. God sometimes clears the crowd, so your heart can hear His voice more clearly. The silence you fear is often the very place where His whispers become unmistakable. Jesus Himself walked this path. We're reminded in John, chapter 16, verse 32, "A time is coming, and in fact has come, when you will be scattered, each to your own home. You will leave me all alone. Yet I am not alone, for my Father is with me." Loneliness may visit, but you are never truly abandoned. Every step, even in emptiness, is accompanied by the One who promised never to leave you. So if you find yourself in that quiet place, don't rush to fill the silence. Don't fight to keep people whom God has gently removed. Instead, lean into the stillness and let it teach you dependence. You might even place your hand on your heart and whisper these words to yourself, "I am not alone. God is with me here." Could it be that the very silence you fear the most is the doorway to the deepest intimacy with Him? There are moments when help arrives from places you never expected. A stranger offers kindness. A word of encouragement comes at just the right time. A door opens that no human hand could have forced. It may feel ordinary on the surface, but heaven is often at work. Through the most unexpected vessels, God sends reminders that you are not forgotten. He places people in your path, sometimes only for a moment, to carry you through a season or to lift you when you are weary. The Word tells us in Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 2, "Do not forget to show hospitality to strangers, for by so doing some people have shown hospitality to angels, without knowing it." Not every angel wears wings. Sometimes they come disguised as neighbors, co-workers, or even someone you meet once and never again. They step in, they bless you, and then they move on, leaving behind only the unmistakable fragrance of grace. Do not be discouraged if certain people you counted on turn away. God may harden hearts for a season, so that when your blessing comes, no one else can claim the credit. The honor belongs to Him alone. So remain open. Look closely at the little kindnesses, the unexpected helps, the gentle provisions that appear in your path. What if these are not coincidences at all, but signs that heaven is already reaching down to carry you into your breakthrough? There are moments when the path feels longer than you thought it would be. Prayers linger in the air, and answers seem slow in coming. But God is not absent in the waiting. He is working in ways unseen, shaping your heart, stretching your trust, building a faith that can endure storms. The process is rarely easy. Sometimes it feels like fire. Sometimes it feels like pressure. But even fire has a holy purpose. It purifies, it refines, it reveals what cannot be destroyed. We read in James, chapter 1, verses 3 and 4, "You know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." Every delay, every unanswered prayer, every season of waiting is not wasted. It is a classroom of the Spirit, where trust is taught and dependence on God becomes unshakable. So do not despise the waiting. Do not curse the refining fire. What feels like delay is often preparation. What feels like pressure is often shaping. God is not trying to break you. He is forming you. He is making you ready for what only a surrendered heart can carry. Hold this truth close. You are being refined, but not abandoned. You are being shaped, but never forsaken. And in this refining, your future is already being prepared. Sometimes the path to blessing looks nothing like blessing at all. Things fall apart, doors close, relationships shift, and life feels painfully out of order. It is tempting to think you have lost your way, that perhaps God has forgotten. But often what appears as chaos is the careful rearranging of heaven. God allows certain pieces to move, certain ties to break, so that the foundation beneath you can hold the weight of what is coming. The Apostle Paul reminds us in Romans, chapter 8, verse 28, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." All things includes the things that don't make sense. All things includes the losses you didn't expect. All things includes the delays that tested your patience. So when the picture seems scattered, when nothing feels aligned, do not assume abandonment. God is not dismantling your life to destroy you. He is rearranging it to bless you. Trust the artist who holds the canvas. Trust the potter who shapes the clay. What looks broken now is being set in place for glory later. There is a design in the disorder. There is a purpose in the pause. There is a divine alignment happening beneath what your eyes can see. Let your soul rest and repeat with me. God's hand is steady, and He is preparing the masterpiece of my story. Every heart longs for open doors, moments when what was locked becomes accessible, when what felt distant suddenly stands before you. But the opening of God's doors is not bound to human schedules. It is not rushed by fear, nor delayed by doubt. When He decides to open, no one can keep it shut. The waiting may have tested you. The silence may have stretched you. But the faith you carried in those hidden hours has prepared you for the very moment. When the hinge of heaven begins to turn, Jesus declared in Revelation, chapter 3, verse 8, "See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. I know that you have little strength, yet you have kept my word, and have not denied my name." This is not just a promise of opportunity. It is a seal of divine authority. The doors God opens do not depend on influence, connections, or circumstance. They depend only on His sovereign will. So lift your eyes with expectation. What once resisted you will yield. What once was sealed will give way. What once was impossible will stand open before you. Walk forward with steady steps, for heaven itself has unlocked the way. No power can close what God has already opened for your life. There comes a point when the night breaks, when what was lost begins to return, when what was heavy is lifted, and what was barren starts to bloom again. God has not forgotten the tears you've cried. He has not overlooked the battles you have fought in secret. Every unseen prayer, every silent surrender has been gathered like seed, sown into the soil of His promise. And now He whispers of restoration. The prophet Joel declared in Joel chapter 2, verse 25, "I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten." This is not just recovery. It is redemption. What was wasted will bear fruit. What was broken will be mended. What was delayed will arrive in greater measure. So lift your head, child of God. The story is not ending in loss. It is unfolding in glory. Your future is not defined by what was taken, but by what God is about to release. Your hope is not built on fading strength, but on the eternal faithfulness of the One who cannot fail. Now, as an act of faith, place your hand over your heart and say, "I believe in restoration. I believe in breakthrough. And I believe my turning point is here." Carry this confession with you, for heaven has already marked this as the beginning of your new chapter. Beloved, as we close this time of prayer, let your heart rest in the assurance that God has already begun the work. You may not see every answer yet, but the turning point is set in motion. The battles that pressed you, the silences that tested you, the doors that once remained shut, all of them are now under His command. May God strengthen you where you feel weak. May peace, healing, and hope meet you in the very places where despair once tried to settle. May you walk with the quiet confidence that the One who called you is already ahead of you, making every crooked path straight. If you sense God's touch through this prayer, you're invited to write Amen below or share your prayer request. For here, we pray together as one family. Go in peace today, knowing the Lord surrounds you, guides you, and carries you into His promises. Until we meet again in prayer, may grace carry you, and may His love be the song that steadies your soul. Peace be with you today and always.